So this dog mom had adopted a dog who had a challenging past. I know many of us have. And her dog was easily triggered and over-aroused by ordinary life events, making it really difficult for her to have a safe, calm, and happy life and a harmonious relationship. And so she reached out to me for help, and I shared with her some of the tips that we will be discussing today. So it's going to be really good. I thought it would be fun to put the tips into the context of a real life example. They're short, sweet, and simple. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Kathy Kawalec, and I believe that our dogs connect us to the heart and soul of what really matters in life. So hang out, and we'll take a deep dive into the human-dog connection and explore strategies that will inspire you to create legendary, enlightened partnership with your dog. This is the Enlightened by Dogs podcast. Well, hello there, Kathy Kawalec here, and welcome back to another episode of Enlightened by Dogs. I'm delighted that you're here with me today, and we are going to be talking all about unleashing the love and deepening the connection with your dogs. So it's kind of cool, like it's the month of February and Valentine's Day, and February is full of love and connection in general, but in particular in my BPA and BDFB communities. I mean, it is such a happy delight to see our dog moms posting their love note of the day and sharing it with one another. And so we're doing 28 days of love and connection challenge. And we have a new prompt for each day. It's so good. So I wanted to share a couple of them with you because they're like too precious not to. So here's one from Erin that I love. She wrote, #FebLove Day 7. I showed my dog love today by choosing not to do Hooper's practice that I had originally planned this lunchtime. I realized that she was not quite herself after a busy day yesterday. So instead, we had a chilled, sniffy wander in the woods by our house, and it was the right call for us both. I love that. And this one from Rose is so simple and yet so perfect. She writes, my dogs showed me love today when they joined me by the space heater and helped me get dressed, sharing lots of kisses. I could just picture that. I love that. And Donna's share, I don't know, maybe says it all. #FebLove. My dog, Minute, showed me love today by wanting to just be with me. Rode in the car for errands, lays by me where I sit, paws up to offer me her loving, and just by keeping her eyes on me, she reads me so well, and I love her unconditional devotion. Wow, how cool is that? And like, just think, we have an entire month devoted to love and connection and sharing all this stuff with each other and with our dogs. It is so good. Oh, and the other really cool thing that I did, I think it's really cool, is that I made a journal for my BPA members called the Love Letters to My Dog Journal. And it's all about like falling in love with your dog and your life together. And that is important because it lays the foundation for a healthy relationship and overall well-being. Like, this is the main reason why we have dogs. And paying attention to this is what will help you get through life's challenges and difficulties together. And don't we all need help with that, right? So inside the pages of the journal, I have it set up so that you could write letters, collect memories, express gratitude, reflect on communication and relationship. It's a place for you to strengthen your connection with your dog and to always have a reminder of the beauty and importance of that connection. So, if you are a BPA member, I do hope that you are using the journal and that you are loving using the journal. And for each of you listening, I invite you to think about how you can bring in some more intention to foster love and connection with your dog. So, with that in mind, today I've got some additional tips for you. Now, before we dive into the tips, I want to share a story about a dog mom who was struggling to connect with her dog. So, this dog mom, let's call her Sarah, had adopted a dog who had a challenging past. Her dog was easily triggered and over-aroused by ordinary life events, making it pretty difficult for Sarah to have a harmonious relationship that we all covet, right? And so Sarah had reached out to me for help, and I shared with her some of the same tips that we're going to be talking about today. And she was determined to improve her relationship with her dog. And that meant that she was willing to put in the right kind of effort that we're going to talk about today that will make it work. And so I thought it would be fun to put the tips into the context of real life. The tips are short and sweet and simple. And okay, so let's see how our Sarah name has been changed, but let's see how Sarah was able to use these tips to deepen her connection with her dog. Okay. Tip number 1 is all about spending quality time together with your dog. Now, again, I said these are short, sweet, and simple, but so often overlooked. One of the most important things that you can do to deepen your connection with your dog is to spend quality time together. And this could be pretty brief, but really effective. And so basically, this means setting aside time each day to focus on your dog and being together. It can be as simple as going for a walk, playing a short game of fetch, or cuddling on the couch, or even just a few moments of loving connection. And the key here is to be present with your dog, to be fully present and engaged, and for you and your dog to enjoy each other's company. And spending quality time together is essential in building trust and forming a strong bond. That's what we all want, right? And so Sarah was already, of course, spending time with her dog, but she wasn't necessarily focused and fully present with her dog during the time that they were together. And so I encouraged her to start with setting aside some specific time each day to just be with her dog and give her dog undivided attention. And at first, Sarah was worried that her dog's over-aroused behavior would ruin the experience, that her dog would just, kind of do her crazy, excitable stuff, and they wouldn't be able to have quality time, quote unquote, right? But to her surprise, the more she focused on being present with her dog during this short and special time together, the more her dog relaxed and became less over-aroused overall in their life, not just during these little short special time, segments. Okay? So, tip number 2, build trust with daily experiences. So, trust is the foundation of any strong relationship. And this is especially true when it comes to our dogs. Building trust with your dog happens when you create an environment where your dog feels safe and where they feel heard. So you hear me talk about this a lot. Dogs, like us, are social mammals, and their sense of safety and how they feel is heavily influenced by you, by their dog mom, by their human family. And so by creating a predictably safe environment, you could help your dog feel safe and confident and secure. And so this means providing them with a consistent daily routine by making sure that their social mammal needs to belong, to be heard, and to be connected are met. And by being mindful of any potential stressors or triggers, and then making choices that will ensure more safe, feel good experiences for your dog and for you. And so Sarah was already working on building trust with her dog, as we all are, but she wasn't sure how to continue to make progress and in a way that she could see the results in her everyday life with her dog, right? And so I encouraged her to start with small, manageable steps, baby steps as I call them, such as something simple like giving her dog space when they're feeling overwhelmed. Maybe choosing to not put her dog into a situation that was likely to trigger her over-aroused behavior. So it's the simple, small things that really add up and make a big difference. And so by planning ahead and keeping trust building in mind, Sarah was able to create lots more feel good experiences and help her dog to feel more relaxed and confident more and more and more as days and weeks went on. Okay. And then tip number 3 is to foster partnership, not obedience. So this third tip for deepening connection with your dog is something that you hear me talk a lot about. And it's really shifting our perspective away from trained cues and expected obedience, etc., and instead think about collaborating and partnership and, building trust that leads to natural, organic cooperation that's often guided by us, role modeled by us. And so what this means is approaching a relationship with your dog as a collaboration rather than simply giving cues or commands and expecting your dog to be obedient and comply, right? And so we're just kind of shifting our approach. And when we approach our relationship with our dogs as a partnership, we're investing in their overall well-being and happiness, and of course, in our life together. So that invests in our own well-being and happiness, right? Because if our dog is feeling safe, calm, and happy, and all that, so are we. I mean, it's connected, right? And so this type of relationship or partnership that we're looking for is really built on mutual respect and understanding on a much deeper level than is traditionally, thought about with our dogs. And when we do this, it definitely leads to a stronger bond and more cooperation. And so Sarah was initially kind of skeptical about this idea because she had spent quite a bit of time training her dog to do cued behaviors to try to manage over arousal, even though that didn't seem to be working very well. But as Sarah began to understand the concept of a cooperative partnership, she started to see her dog in a new light. And she began to appreciate her dog's unique personality and strengths and worked with her dog to create a relationship that would lead to eager and willing cooperation rather than obedience and compliance. And so Sarah made a conscious effort to connect and collaborate instead of cueing or commanding her dog to follow instructions. It was a new way of thinking through things, and it started to quickly pay off. All right, tip number 4 is engaging in cooperative activities. So, if we think about engaging in cooperative activities with your dog as being a great way to deepen your connection and strengthen your bond, that's what's going to happen, right? So, this is what I encourage you to do. And what I mean by cooperative activities, I mean that the book is wide open there, and this can include anything from like fun trick training sessions to training for and participating in dog sports, even just like doing chores and tasks around your house or farm, or maybe other fun things like going for a run or a hike together, or maybe a simple game of hide and seek. And so Sarah started by engaging in just simple and interesting activities like the dance invitation and playing hide and seek with her dog. And as their confidence grew and their connection together grew stronger, she was then able to introduce more challenging activities like agility training. Not only did these activities deepen the bond between Sarah and her dog, but they also provided a fun and interactive way for them to spend time together, which also grew their trust, cooperation, and partnership. And so as a result of following these first 4 strategies, because they kind of work synergistically together, but as a result of following these strategies, what happened was Sarah's dog relaxed more, connected more easily, was much less triggered by things, and their quality of life overall really expanded in a big way. Okay, tip number 5. Celebrate your love and connection, because we have to end with tip number 5 as in the context of love and connection, because it's February. Okay, so this 5th tip for deepening your connection with your dog is to celebrate it. Celebrate the love and connection that you and your dog have together. Take time to appreciate the special bond. It's something that we don't do, but it's really, really powerful. And on so many levels, it retrains our brain. We start looking for ways, looking for the love, looking for the connection instead of looking for the stuff that's wrong, right? And it really feels good in the moment, right? And so we want to take the time to appreciate the bond that you share and to celebrate your relationship with your dog, whether it's, with sharing a special treat together, going for a long walk, simply snuggling up together, maybe smiling, maybe just a little touch on the cheek, or, sometimes it's the smallest of moments that mean so much. But the idea is for you to notice when you're feeling love and connected, and by focusing on more often creating those moments of love and connection on purpose, right? And you want your dog to know how much they are loved and appreciated, and that will help you as much as it helps your dog. And here's a bonus tip. I couldn't help myself. So remember that it's important to practice patience and understanding when it comes to our dogs. They're individuals with their own personalities and strengths and quirks and superpowers. And it's so important for us to be respectful of those differences, the same as it is for us humans, right? And so Sarah was able to put that tip into practice by being patient with her dog and understanding that her dog's over-aroused behavior was at least partially a result of their challenging past, right? Their challenging past experiences. And by taking the time to understand her dog on a deeper level, Sarah was able to create more loving and supportive experiences and a more loving and supportive environment in life for and with her dog. And it definitely took some patience on Sarah's part to change her thinking from expecting obedience and compliance to her requested cues to working together with her dog to figure out how both of their needs could be met. So at first, it does take a little bit more time to figure that out, but it's so worth it. And it's empowering and it feels good. And this is what leads to the type of partnership, the type of relationship that will withstand life's challenges and difficulties when they happen, because they will, right? That's how life is. Okay. So to quickly recap, these are the 5 tips that I gave you today for deepening your connection and feeling the love with your dog. Number 1, make time for spending quality time together. Number 2, bank more trust by creating a safe environment and safe experiences. Number 3, approaching your relationship as a partnership built on mutual respect and understanding changes everything. Number 4, enjoy cooperative activities, cooperation building activities together that nurture your partnership life together. And number 5, celebrate the love and connection that you already have with your dog, because that will in turn create more love and connection. By incorporating these tips into your life, I know that you will be able to strengthen your bond and create a happier and more harmonious life and a better relationship with your dog. So there you have it. 5 sweet and short and simple tips for creating a loving, connected life with your dog. Whether you're struggling with an over-aroused dog like Sarah, or just looking to strengthen your bond and to nurture more cooperation with your dog, these tips can help you and your dog live that happy life together. So I hope you found these helpful. And of course, I hope that you're inspired to actually implement them, put them into practice, because hearing about something, getting information is not going to do the trick, right? We literally have to apply the things that we learn, or we just forget about it. So I hope that you do make some of these sweet and simple changes in your life. And let me know, get in touch, let me know how it's going. And thank you so much for tuning in today. If you love this episode, I hope you'll share it with some of your dog friends. And I will see you next week for another Enlightened by Dogs episode. In the meantime, be brilliant, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye for now. Thanks so much for listening. And hey, if you would like to work with me so that I can help you discover the missing pieces you need so that you and your dog can finally be happy and enjoy life together, then head on over to dancingheartsdogacademy.com and request your invitation to join us in the Brilliant Partners Academy when the doors open for the next enrollment. See you next time, and remember, a brilliant partnership with your dog makes your whole life brilliant.